Welcome to the Cup of Joe Sports Show. I'm your host, Joe Whitman. How the heck are you? For the next few minutes or so, I'm going to be giving you just a taste of the world in sports. First off, I need to share a story, family moment. Have you ever been fly fishing? Well, I thought it'd be a good idea for me and my son to learn how to fly fish. He's really into fishing. I like to fish. We've never gone fly fishing. Let me tell you something, folks. This is not easy, all right? It doesn't look like it looks like on Brad Pitt in the movie where he's in Montana in some gorgeous river and they're reeling in these amazing trout, okay? Yeah, that's the movies for a reason, okay? I'm going to say in the 30 minutes of practicing fly fishing, just practicing, not even in a real river, just in a lake, a local family lake, I hooked myself at least 5 times in the arm. Of course, my son, being smarter than me, and I can admit to that, it's a good thing, he was a pro. You know, he looked like he should be on a cover of some magazine, Fly Fisherman, United States, America, Universe, whatever you want to call it. He was awesome. Of course, every time I hooked myself in the arm, my son would turn and laugh, and I would blurt out various colorful 4-letter words. I will say thank you to Columbia. My Columbia jacket saved my arm from impalement at least 4 times. So nice work on that, boys, with your sleek design and fly-proof jacket. Well done. Let's get going with the show. Of course, on everyone's mind, it was the NCAA championship. And it's true. It happened. The Disney movie has come true. Virginia did it. They went from the depths of hell, the pit of despair, losing as a number 1 seed, all the way back, baby, winning the national title. I can hear little birds chirping. I can hear the Disney song playing in the background. It's awesome. It's truly awesome. Congratulations, Tony Bennett. What an amazing ride. What an amazing Final Four. I mean, before we talk about the final itself, the Final Four was great. I mean, Virginia's lucky to even be in the spot to win the title. You look at that game against Auburn. Holy cow. An amazing finish. People complain about fouls being called at the end of games. I hate it too. I really hate fouls being called at the end of the games. However, in this case, it was a foul. The guy clearly bumped him in the legs. His body shifted. The ball didn't go in. And you know what? Kyle Guy is a stud, okay? Kid's got ice in his veins. I stared at him. I looked at TV. I go, he's going to make all 3 of these. He knows he's going to make all 3 of these. He knows he's going to win this game. The guy's a straight baller. That game, Auburn was dead to rights with 5 minutes to go. Virginia had a 9-point lead. I actually quit watching temporarily to go eat some tacos. We had made tacos that night. I love me some tacos. And it wasn't even Tuesday. I know some people believe in only eating tacos on Tuesday, but I eat tacos on any day of the week. Honestly, they're fantastic. But back to my story. I left to go eat tacos, and then all of a sudden, finish eating my tacos. I come back to TV, and the game is like tied. I'm like, what just happened? Amazing comeback. Auburn, like I've said before, they're streaky. They're a super streaky team. They got cold, and all of a sudden, hit a couple 3-pointers in a row, you're right back in it. So, an amazing finish. It sucks to suck sometimes. You don't want to make that foul. Just let him take the shot. Does he make the shot if he's not fouled? Who knows? We'll never know. A lot of people say, well, his arm didn't seem to be affected. His shooting motion didn't seem to be affected. So, he misses that probably. But I don't know. Who knows? The fact is that the call was made, and it was the right call. And unfortunately, a lot of times the right call is not made. Even in the last second, if you're fouled, you're fouled. And he still had to step up and knock those shots down, which he did, which was money. The other game, Michigan State. What happened? Holy cow. They failed to score in the last 2.5 minutes of the game. You can't do that. You can't be stuck at 51 points for the last 2.5 minutes of the game and expect to beat a defense like Texas Tech. That just doesn't happen. Michigan State was actually out-rebounded. They out-rebounded Texas Tech 36-30. However, Tech had 4 less turnovers. And when you're playing a team like Texas Tech, Michigan State, you cannot give them the ball with turnovers. Their defense is ridiculous. I know they cause a lot of turnovers. You got to do your best. Take care of the ball, make good shots, play smart basketball. Better team won. Texas Tech took it to them. Which brings us to last night's thriller, overtime. Are you kidding me? What a great game. I talked to a Texas Tech fan this morning that I work with, and she's like, if they hadn't got off to such a slow start, I think we would have beaten them by 10. And the more I think about it, I think she's absolutely right. I turned the game on a little late because I was at a softball practice with my daughters, and I go, the score is 9-3 with 12 minutes to go? Holy cow, what is happening? And if Texas Tech comes out with any fire, makes some hoops, I mean, that team was on a roll, a serious roll. And I do think they win that game. Their best player, Jarrett Culver, NBA player, no doubt. He had a terrible first half. He didn't really turn it on until the second half. Made an amazing play near the end of regulation. NBA basketball play. I mean, sick. Went right around a guy. Went to his left. Up and in. No big deal. Made it look easy. A la a Michael Jordan play almost. Not that I'm comparing him to Michael Jordan. That would be ridiculous. But it was an NBA play. And it was in the biggest moment of the game. Fantastic. What I think I love most about that game last night is the talent. You've got so many key players on each team making big plays. I mean, obviously we've talked about Kyle Guy. Kid's money. He had 24 points last night. Again, knocking down big free throws when they need him to knock down big free throws. DeAndre Hunter, 27 points. 4 for 5 from three-point line and played a huge role in overtime. He even had a steal, a couple stops. The guys stepped up. Virginia saw it. They're like, OT, this is ours. We need to claim this. This is our time. And they brought it home. Texas Tech, man, they have no reason to hold their heads down. Played a great game, Matt Moretti kid, holy cow. And Mooney. You know what that Mooney kid reminds me? He reminds me of the next opponent of some prized UFC fight, okay, who can also make really far-away three-point shots. He's got that look to him like if you say the wrong thing to him in a bar, he might just punch you right in the face and say nothing about it and go on about his day. He's got that tough look on him, you know what I mean? You don't want to meet him in a dark alley, but he's tough as nails. I mean, he's making three-pointers like it's no big deal. Love it. Absolutely loved it. Loved the back and forth at the end of that game. Of course, like I said, Virginia was the better team in OT. Congrats to Tony Bennett. Seriously, man. You deserve a medal of some sort. You don't go from worst to first. That doesn't happen. This championship will go down as one of the most impressive team moments in college sports history, in my opinion. I really believe that. They lost to a 16 seed, which no one thought would ever happen. Ever. I personally was hoping that Kansas would be that team that lost to a 16 first, but it didn't happen that way. They lost to a 16 seed. That's not supposed to happen. Their mental issues from that moment all the way back to this tournament, I mean, you can't describe those. You can't imagine the doubt that was in those kids' head all the time, right? Chris Beard, what can you say about that guy? Great coach. Fantastic basketball coach. Texas Tech, pay the man whatever he wants. Seriously. UCLA's coming, and don't think Texas isn't thinking about swooping up and getting them at some point. You cannot count out those big boys. They will find money. They always do. They always have the boosters that want to be a winning program again. But let me tell you, Chris Beard, you've got a great thing going on in Texas Tech. Keep building because you'll get those recruits. You'll get those recruits that Texas used to get. And you'll be right back there again next year. Anyone who can teach defense the way this man did has got a great chance at winning a national title year in, year out. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a young Coach K. He does. When I was growing up, I remember watching Duke play, and Coach K's energy and his passion. Not that he doesn't have the passion now, but let's be honest. He's a little bit older now, a little bit slower, probably not the same level of energy. But man, Chris Beard, when I see this guy coach, I can see his love, his compassion for his players' success and, them doing things the right way and successfully. And it's awesome to see. What a great game. I know most people's brackets were wrecked. Mine was as well, but I'm okay with it. When I get a final like that, two teams that no one was expecting, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Moving on to the AAF. That's right, the Alliance of American Football, which unfortunately will not be an alliance for much longer. Why? Why, we ask? Why is the AAF no longer going to be in existence? Well, for one, quality of product. What in the hell are we actually watching on the football field? Let's think about the talent level that's showing up on an AFF football field on any given day. What are we looking at? And can you be honest with yourself? Ask yourself this. Are these rosters better than arena football team rosters? Because you know what? Arena football is actually pretty entertaining. A lot of fun. Smaller markets get these teams and they get behind them. And it's a scoring fest. Arena football, it is nonstop. Throw the ball around the barn. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. And let's be honest, it's cheaper. Okay, people can afford it. And I think my favorite part about arena football is that the kickers play a very, very small role. I hate kickers. Kickers and relief pitchers, I hate them both. I really do. Let's be honest. All they do is ruin every fan's big moment in some big game at some point in your fandom history. They're the worst. We can all agree that kickers and relief pitchers are mental nightmares. It's just a fact. So, quality of product. There's already something out there that probably has the same quality of product as the AAF. And second with the AFF is star power. For any good sports league, you've got to have star power. Who wants to come watch the games if no one good is actually playing? All right? Let's be honest. If Johnny Manziel is your biggest draw, you've got problems. Big time problems. Johnny Manziel couldn't make it work in the Canadian Football League, which is a pretty successful football league. Couldn't make it work. There is no star power with the AAF. When the NFL season is over, quite honestly, most big sports fans are looking towards college basketball, getting ready for March Madness, and some who are crazy, like myself and love baseball, are thinking about baseball already. Especially if your NFL team sucks and tanks, you're thinking about baseball like in November, which may or may not have been me this past season. So yeah, no star power. People aren't going to go watch it. They're not going to pay for it. And people certainly aren't going to watch it on TV because there's better options. Lots of better options. Last reason why I think the AAF is a failure, and lots of leagues that come around, is there's no affiliation with the NFL. Perhaps, let's just hypothetically say, if the AAF was made a minor league to where every team had an NFL team as their parent team. They were the AAA team for the Denver Broncos, the New York Giants, the Chicago Bears. Each one of those teams had a minor league team that lived in the AAF, right? So now you've got fans' interest from these teams saying, oh, here's that young kid that we just drafted. Or here's a late round guy that we got. And let's see him grow up, see if he's going to be any good. Maybe he can come up to the team. This also allows your NFL teams to, instead of have to dip into free agency and pick up any clown off of some practice roster, you can pick someone who actually you're kind of invested in, you've researched, you drafted, and let's take the NFL draft to a whole nother level. Maybe if we can get the or some other sort of league that pops up connected to the NFL, maybe we make the draft longer, okay? I know, the moans and groans can begin. Oh, dear God, it's already too long enough as it is. That's fine. Make day 2 or day 3 or whatever day you want to call it, but the later rounds, okay? Let's say round 7 through 12, okay? We make it a little longer. Those rounds are to fill your AAF rosters, okay? And from there, you build your franchises with as years go by. I believe if you could get something like that in place, you're getting more college guys job opportunities. You're getting more chances for talent to eventually make it to the NFL, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for a better product in the NFL. It's already a really good product, but there's always room for improvement, right? I think if whatever the next big football league that comes out it is, and maybe the AFF can come back at some point if they can figure it all out and get some more investors, you got to have an affiliation, a direct affiliation to make it work. Will that ever happen? Probably not, simply because that's more money coming out of the owners' pockets. And there's a reason why these people are millionaires and billionaires. They don't throw money around lightly unless you're paying Bryce Harper or Mike Trout or Manny Machado or various other high-paid athletes who get paid to play a game. I'm not bitter about that. They all get their money. They deserve it. But really, you need to have some sort of connection to the big leagues to make it work. NFL, other league need to be connected. I don't think it'll ever happen. And so, oh well. You know, it was a nice try, again, by someone to make a new league. But really, I don't know if it'll ever happen. Again, simply based on the quick rise and fall of the AAF this season. It'll probably deter others. I know the XFL is coming. Let's be honest. We've seen the XFL before. It's terrible. And it's basically WWE wrestling with shoulder pads and helmets. It's pretty awful. Oh, yes, and the cheerleaders that are not dressed appropriately. And I'm sure no young children are ever watching TV late at night. Ever. Anywhere. No, that doesn't happen. Moving on. After the national championship game, of course, the next natural thing in every sports-loving mind is the Masters. Augusta. I can hear the music. I can hear Jim Nantz talking in that whispery voice about and the history of Augusta and talking about Ben Hogan and Jack and the Tiger. Man, I'm not going to lie. I love the Masters probably more than any other golf tournament. The U.S. Open's cool sometimes, but the Masters, it's like Disney World for golfers. It is. It's like this mecca. It's like this make-believe place that nobody believes even exists because, honestly, most normal people can't get there. Not allowed to play there, that's for sure. And, getting tickets to the Masters is you pretty much have to know somebody important or pay literally thousands of dollars to go watch a practice round, which would still be really awesome. It's an amazing place. I think it has a spot in my heart because I remember growing up, my father really loved to watch the Masters. I remember sitting and watching it with him, and I just remember falling in love with all the holes in Amen Corner and how many guys would hit it in the water and just, the fake bird noises and how green everything was and how pretty the azaleas were. What a cool place, right? I have to admit, when I was a kid, I did fall asleep from time to time during the golf match, and I'm almost positive my father did as well. But it's golf, There's a lot of holes where you can take a nap on and, wake up for the back nine, and you're not going to miss much. I still remember to this day when Tiger hit that crazy chip shot, and the camera guy, kudos to the camera guy, as someone who's done video myself, the shot of the Nike logo ball, holy cow, dropping into the cup. As money. That's the money shot right there. That guy will be talking about that for the rest of his life. Goosebumps. I mean, that course is awesome. All the moments on it. Freddie Couples, okay, one of my favorite golfers of all time. His Masters win, it was so much fun to watch him play. He had so many amazing... He was throwing darts. He really was. And he had a couple shots that should have been in the water, and it just didn't. For whatever reason, Fate was on his side that day. But I loved Freddie because he was just like So easy going. And his swing was so easy, but he hit the ball a mile. And he just looked like one of the nicest guys. And you just want to go sit and have a drink with him, you know. And then I'll never forget poor Greg Norman. Dear God. I felt bad for that guy because I literally watched him choke away a green jacket. And it sucked to watch him hit the ball into the water knowing that he just blew the Masters. That was some rough stuff. But who doesn't love the Masters? It's so awesome. It's just an awesome thing. One of these days, a buddy of mine who works for the Golf Channel, he's going to hook me up. I just know it. All right, I'm not holding my breath, but maybe I'll get a pass to the Masters someday. So about the Masters, who do I think is going to win? Who do I think has a shot to win? All right, I'm just going to throw it out there right here. Brooks Koepka, okay? The guy's a stud, all right? He's practically a machine. You know, winning the two U.S. Opens already. He's a big, strong dude who's consistent, all right? Well, let's think about when Tiger won his 4 green jackets, which is ridiculous to say, but 4 times Tiger won the Masters. What was a young Tiger? He was big, he was strong, he was consistent. The course, if you can hit the ball a long ways, you can beat Augusta, and you can score very well. I like Brooks Koepka a lot. He took second at the Honda Classic earlier in the year. He's just a good golfer, you know. I think he's got a good shot to win. Also, Rory, okay, my boy Rory McIlroy. I love Rory, I really do. He's another golfer that I just look at. I'm like, man, he's kind of an easygoing dude. And he's a British chap, you know. He's probably a lot of fun to play with him. And all right, that was a terrible accent. I apologize. But like Rory, man, like I love the nostalgic behind the guy, and the fact that he hasn't won a green jacket yet, that's even more mystique. So I'm really hoping Rory could pull it off. He's been waiting a long time. He won the Players' Championship earlier, so you know he's not playing bad golf right now. Also, you can never count out the 48-year-old lefty, Phil Mickelson. Phil plays this course very well. He really does. Earlier in the year, he took the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, which is good. It means he's got his game together. He loves this course. Man, I'd love to see him win it. There's something about seeing a guy, an older golfer, winning a championship. It seems to mean more. It really does, because I know that their career is kind of coming to the point where they realize they're not going to be as competitive anymore, and at some point you're going to be on the senior links, which is fine. Lots of money to be made there as well. But man, if Phil won it, I tell you what, it'd be pretty awesome. He was one of my father's favorite golfers, so it was always fun to watch my father root for Phil and get angry at Phil when he did a bad shot. I really do think if Phil won, it would be special. And of course, we can't count out Tiger. Okay, can he win a 5th jacket? God, how awesome would that be? I mean, seriously, seeing Tiger win a 5th would be amazing. I don't know if his game is where it needs to be right now to win the Masters, but if anyone knows this course better than Tiger, I mean, the guy knows the course like the back of his hand. He plays at a different level when he steps on to Augusta National. I think he's got a good shot as anyone else. As long as he has a good first day, he has to get off to a good start. That's super important. So any one of those guys, I really do think Brooks Koepka's got the best chance, but who knows? I'd be happy to see any of those other guys I mentioned take it. Fun fact, let's have a little moment of prayer for the Orioles' Chris Davis. He is 0 for 49, new Major League record, dating back to the end of last season. Basically, he has the new Major League record for being awful at hitting. I know, that's kind of mean, but the facts are the facts. He batted .168 last season, people. That was lower than anyone in the Baltimore Orioles system in AA or AAA with over 100 at-bats. .168. I'm sorry. You give me a bat, I think I can throw it in front of enough baseballs to bat better than .168. Oh, by the way, he's also getting paid $23 million a year. Money well spent. Worst contract ever. Sorry, Baltimore Orioles fans. That's embarrassing. And to Chris Davis, dude, figure it out. Start bunting. Anything. Seriously. This is getting past the point of embarrassment, and now I just really feel sorry for you. Lastly, my favorite segment, WTF. The grocery store. Everyone knows the express lane, correct? It's clearly stated in most express lanes, 15 items or less. I am at the store the other night, and I had approximately 5 items, all very small, doable items, some crackers, I think a carton of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. That's a little joke for those of you who remember the cartoon when you were a child. Anyways, I had 5 items. And I noticed the person in front of me has at least 30 items. Okay? Now, granted, they were smaller items. They weren't like 30 whole turkeys or giant boxes of cereal, but it was still 30 items. And it still takes 30 times of that high school kid ringing it up through the scanner. To you, express lane cheaters who feel your time is more valuable than the rest of ours, what the f***? That's it. Shameless plug of the show, Red Stripe Beer. It's like the Budweiser of the Caribbean, and the bottle's just cool, folks. That's it. See you later. I'm out of here. Goodbye.